Welcome back, everybody. It's Outlaw Sports Company again, coming to you with something a little bit different this time. This is actually what got me back into sports cards. Without looking at the title, would you guys have known what this was? About the size of a penny. This is a 1969 Centennial Citgo gas baseball coin of Hank Aaron. So I collected a lot as a kid, cards, and got away from it as I got into teenage years, and it became overpopulated, and card shops started to go out of business and whatnot. Ended up going to school for sports management. Wanted to do something in the sports field. Graduated, didn't end up doing anything in the sports field. So I was like, I need to get back into it somehow. At least at a side hustle or something. So I started selling sports jerseys. Authentic jerseys, just like the players were on the court or the field. And quite frankly, I ran out of space. You can only have so many jerseys stacked up. So I decided that I was going to get back into cards. You can have a whole stack of cards, hundreds of cards in a small stack. Hundreds of jerseys take up, half your living room. But the problem was that there's a zillion different sports cards out there. And where to start? Where to get back into the hobby, learn the field again. I had a lot of work to do. I had a lot of stuff to research. I had stuff to look into. So I decided, well, let's take a step in that direction and not go all into cards right away. Let's start with sports coins and pins. There's a lot less sets of those, and it would reintroduce me back into the hobby and not cost an arm and a leg, and wouldn't have a zillion different sets to look at, just a few dozen. So this is the set I actually started with. It's a 1969 Citgo coins. This is the example of the sheet they would give you at the gas station. This one is in pristine condition. This is not a replica or remake. Shows the set. You had 10 American League stars, 10 National League stars, and you can't see it very clearly. If you look close, you can actually poke out those players and put your coins that you collected right in front of those faces. And all your collection would be right on this sheet. How did you get these coins? Well, you filled up at a Citgo station and they give you one. You wanted to collect more in the set and you didn't want to come back in for more gas right away. You could send in an order sheet, a quarter a piece, to get these coins. Check off whichever ones you wanted, put your name, address, and whatever the postage was, money for each coin, and they'd send them to you. On the back, it detailed a little bit about each player. All known players in this set, a few bigger names than others. The two that most people hunted in the set were Pete Rose and Hank Aaron. The example of both of those in the raw form here. The problem was, though, that you got to pick which coins you wanted when you sent in the 25 cents extra. So what did most people do? Most people weren't looking for Jim Longberg or Dave McNally or Denny McLean. People were looking for these two guys. So actually, they became scarce pretty quick in the factory. They actually ran out. So what they ended up doing is making a quick run of a coin that looked very, very similar. A little bit thicker, a little bit different metal, both authentic. But the version on the right was after they ran out of Pete Rose coins and Hank Aaron coins, because those are the two people that everyone wanted. So they produced this other version. Like I said, it's a little bit thicker, still authentic. Doesn't look exactly like the original, but it's what they had to do to produce them really, really quick and get them out because too many people ordered Pete Rose and Hank Aaron. So this version you'll only see in those two players. Grade's just the same. Now this set, as far as grading goes, the best company to grade coins with, and I'm not biased just because they pull the biggest prices, the best case is definitely PSA. Now, condition is very sensitive in these coins. They scratch really easily, they corrode over time, and get little dings in it, whatever. So it's very hard to find anything in more than like a 6, maybe even a 7. I'm going to show you an example of the whole set in graded form here in a second. Fun little oddball set to collect though, for sure. So this is what a PSA graded slab looks for a coin. They had a few different variations of what they held the coin in. Much like a slab. See a little corrosion on the back there. These are a little bit thicker than a PSA graded card. So these things are not cracking unlike a slab that if you don't take care of it or whatever, then something may happen to it. These are definitely sturdy. Again, these are very hard to get anything above a 6 or a 7. This whole set, I believe, falls number 4 on the registry right now. I've graded a lot of Citgo coins over the years. Like I said, I first got into it when I was starting to get back into cards 6 or 7 years ago. Probably graded 500 or 600 of these. Helped a lot of people upgrade their sets. And this was the nicest set that was left over. Harmon Killebrew, probably the 3rd biggest name in this set. Just wish he played in a little bit bigger market. And who knows, maybe they may have had to make a second version of him as well if he played for a team like the Yankees or whatever. That one's really clean on the back. Looks like they forgot the back. Yes, they did. All these coins here were graded myself. And they definitely screwed up on the back there. Hadn't even noticed that till now. But you can see with the raised image, a lot of times if there is wear, the wear is around their nose, around their eyes, around their chin. In the back, right around the lip, a lot of the times is where they would corrode if they weren't taken really good care of. You gotta think back in 1969, people weren't thinking about preserving 25-cent sports coins. They were having fun with them. And even if you did, look at the bubbling here on the right of his image a little bit. And this is a 7, has corrosion on the side as well and at the bottom. But even if you kept really good care of them, sometimes they'd pop up little bubbles like that. Still a fun set to collect. Each one came in their own little individual, totally concealed little case. It says Citgo on the back. The other side was just white. So you didn't know what player you were getting ahead of time when you pulled up to the gas station and paid for your gas. The unopened ones are actually very hard to find now. They were a little more readily available 5-6 years ago. Still, they fetch a premium, probably 30-40 bucks. As far as the graded ones go, Pete Rose and Hank Aaron are obviously the top gainers there. You can get around $200 for an 8, maybe a little bit more. Killebrew also fetches pretty decent, maybe just under that in an 8. Again, 8s are extremely hard to come by in these sets. Most of them are graded 6s or 7s that are presentable. All the other players, though, are considered more common. 8s ranging from anywhere from $50 to more common ones like that Joe Torre that you just saw, all the way up to maybe 125 for the common players. And the common players being anything but Pete Rose, Harmon Killebrew, and Hank Aaron. Santa was a decent name. Unfortunately, he's grouped in with the commons by most collectors of this set. It's a pretty good example here. The back has a little bit of issue. Oh, again, they didn't put the back on, so maybe that was for the thicker cases. They started putting them in the thicker cases a few years after I started grading them. I guess they were, for some other sets, they were getting damage of the thinner cases. So, for instance, this one on my left was graded before the one on my right, where it's a thicker case. This is the Pete Rose, the second variation, in an 8. Pretty clean image. Can't really tell that's Pete Rose from the image, though. Beautiful coin nonetheless. Like I said, I started with these coin sets before I got back into the cards because it gave me a smaller niche market to focus on, to relearn the hobby a little bit, to see what people were buying, what people were grading, what things were going for. So I'll have a few more videos on some other coin sets along the way. Something that you may not see very often at card shows or whatever. I can't remember the last time I saw Citgo coins at a card show. You'll see some armor coins every once in a while, some 1965 or 71 tops coins. Oh, this one they put upside down. Good quality control by PSA. This is a little bit older slab. It's the thinner one, plus it has a different border. Really good condition on that coin nonetheless. 3 more to round it out. The backs, there was no variation. Willie McCovey. Definitely not a common in most card sets, but in this set he is considered one. Kind of rough back on that one, a lot of wear. And last but not least, Jim Bunning. I hope you enjoyed this recap of 1969 Citgo coin set. If you have any questions about it, just comment below, or you have some images you want to share yourself, give me an email or whatever. I'd love to see your collection. Again, this is the order sheet that is in absolutely phenomenal condition, and how you could send it in for merely a quarter. Absolutely amazing. Nice piece of history, nice oddball set, some Hall of Famers. Overall, it was a lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed this video. Comment, like, subscribe, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks.